Hello, welcome back to our home. It's finally feeling like spring here, so to celebrate, we thought we'd make some sunny, delicious spring treats. So today we're gonna be making lemon bars. So I've preheated my oven to 325 degrees and now I'm gonna prepare my baking pan. The parchment is so that it's easier to lift out of the tray when it's done baking. I wet my hand and I'm putting a little bit of water at the bottom so the paper sticks. You can also use some baking grease of any sort, but I like to use water. Now we're gonna set this aside while we make our crust. So what we're gonna do is cream the butter and the sugar first. And you can do this with a hand mixer, a stand mixer, or a pastry cutter. You can also use a fork. I like to use a fork sometimes. This is kind of how you want your creamed butter and sugar to look. It's very light and fluffy, and it's a shade lighter than it was before. Now we're ready to mix in our other ingredients. So next is our flour, our salt, and my favorite vanilla bean paste. You can use vanilla extract, but I like using vanilla bean paste because it's a little thicker consistency and it has a nice flavor. I mean, it's the same flavor, but I think it just like the texture of it kind of is a little more appealing to me. I typically don't measure vanilla paste because the more the merrier. All right, now we're gonna go in with our hands because this is that kind of a dough. I'm gonna try to mix everything in evenly. All right, this is how we want it to look. Very even consistency. It's very soft, very buttery. Now that we got our dough done, we are going to bring back our little tray. And we're gonna press this dough evenly into the bottom of the tray in one layer. So at this point, you've kind of pushed it down fairly evenly into the pan. I like to grab something that has, this is not flat, obviously it's rounded, but I'm gonna use it as if it is a rolling pin because a rolling pin is not gonna fit in here, at least not the one I have. And I'm gonna get it nice and flat. Just try to get it as even as you can. It's really easy to work with. It's kind of got the consistency of Play-Doh a little bit, so you could just flatten down any parts that you see are a little raised. And voila. Now we're gonna bake for 15 minutes at 325 degrees. Now while our crust is baking, we are going to make our lemon curd. So the two ingredients that go first are our flour, just a tiny bit, and plenty of sugar. I'm gonna whisk this together a little bit, make sure there are no clumps. Now 3 eggs. We're gonna add in a little bit of salt, a tiny bit of baking powder, now for the lemon juice. I wanted to try Miss Eleanor Mickelson's original recipe, but when I was reading it, I noticed that it only called for 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I like lemon flavor way too much to just only put 3 tablespoons. So my recipe has half a cup of lemon juice, and I like that a lot better. And you want to whisk this in slowly, like so. Lastly, we have some lemon zest. And if you want to be an overachiever, you can strain your curd so you definitely don't have any lumps in it. But we're not going to do that today because I don't feel like it. So if you see any lumps in my curd, no you didn't. Alrighty, well our shortbread is ready. It's a little golden around the edges. And here's a trick I learned from Sally's Baking Addiction. She says to poke the top of the shortbread with a fork. Not all the way through, just lightly in the top before you pour your curd in. This is so everything stays in place while the curd bakes. So now let's pour in our curd. Here we go. Now we're gonna bake this at the same temperature for 15 minutes. It might need a little longer than 15 minutes, but at the 15-minute mark, we're gonna check it, and I will show you how to do that, and we'll see if it's ready. Here we go. So after 15 minutes, you're gonna look inside and tap it like this. When the edges are set and the middle is only slightly wobbly, that's when you know it's ready. But as you can see, the middle is still very wobbly. So we're gonna leave it in there for a couple more minutes and it should set up nicely. So now it's very slightly wobbly there in the middle. So it's ready to take out. So we're gonna leave it on the counter to cool for half an hour and then put it in the fridge for about 2 hours. Thankfully though, we've prepped ahead and we have a completely cooled one. So we are going to remove our bar from the pan, and this parchment paper is gonna make that a lot easier. And now that we have it out like this, we are going to put some powdered sugar on top. We want to put the powdered sugar on top before we cut it because I like to have those nice cut lines without powdered sugar on them. Let me show you. So I have my little sifter here. It's not technically a sifter, but it'll do. And my powdered sugar. Now that that's all sugared up, let's cut them. All right, now you see I have this on here. And in order to make clean cut lines, I'm gonna wipe this off every cut I make. All right, now they are ready to garnish. So for our garnish, I cut some strawberries. I saw a friend do this with her lemon bars and I thought it was really cute. So I've decided to put some strawberries on it. When you cut a strawberry like this, it looks kind of like a heart. And since a lot of these bigger strawberry slices don't fit on our little lemon squares, I am going to use a little cookie cutter and cut some flower shapes out of them. Since it's springtime, I thought flowers would be a nice little addition. And there you have some adorable and delicious lemon bars. Enjoy!